Today on The Young and the Restless, Devin grills his father, Kyle invites Tucker to test him, and Billy learns Kyle wants his job. Nate meets with Devin and Lily at the penthouse and tells them he happened upon new information about Aunt Mamie, and they're not going to like it. He reveals that she's in cahoots with Tucker McCall and explains that he was with her at the club when he saw her get a text from McCall asking to meet. He doesn't think she knows he saw it, but she sure put the phone away fast. Devin muses that Tucker must have lied to him about having an interest in Chancellor Winters. Lily supposes he reverted to his original plan to come after them. Nate argues that Mamie wouldn't do that, but Lily retorts that she'd do it to Jill in a heartbeat. They have to assume they're under attack. McCall is using Mamie as his way in. Devin dons his coat to go get answers from the man himself. He'll remind him of the stakes of lying to him. At the Abbott house, Ashley and Mamie catch up as they have the house to themselves. Ash wants to hear all about her move to buy into Chancellor Winters. Mamie was ready for a change, and the way to do that best is with one's family. Ashley admires how she balances work and home life. Mamie reflects that she never knew much about Tucker McCall other than he was Catherine Chancellor's son. She sensed a connection between him and Ashley at the gala. Ashley says there was, and now there isn't. Mamie guesses Jack fears Tucker wants revenge against the Abbotts as a result. Ashley supposes she's wondering how she could have been so wrong about that man. Mamie can see the subject is very painful. Ashley muses that she wasn't blameless when it comes to their marriage ending. She and Tucker were starting a company together and she couldn't go through with it. Mamie understands she couldn't give up Jabot. Ashley explains that Tucker found that very upsetting. He felt like she'd ripped the rug out from under his world. It got intense. Tucker got really angry. I mean, I've never seen him that angry before in all the years I've known him. She cries, recalling how his eyes got cold and dark, and he erupted into a rage. He terrified me. Mamie balks. Oh my God, Ashley, I had no idea. It doesn't matter what she did, that kind of behavior is unacceptable. Tucker is trouble. Mamie declares. Ashley explains that Tucker's complicated. Mamie scoffs. Are you telling me you still have a soft spot for him? Ashley can't have a soft spot for him, but when he feels vulnerable, he lashes out. She tried running but realized she had to come back and face this head on. She won't let anyone mess with her family again. Mamie agrees that family must always come first. They embrace. Billy and Jack meet on the patio at Crimson Lights. Jack updates his brother that Ashley paid Tucker a visit, and she's still determined to pretend to reconnect with him to find out what he's up to. Billy wonders why he has no faith in anyone that isn't Diane. Jack fumes that McCall is dangerous and unhinged, and there's no telling what he'll do when he finds out she's playing him. Billy knows there's a risk, but they're not going to be able to tell Ashley what to do. Jack just worries that she doesn't see clearly when it comes to Tucker McCall. Billy thinks Ashley might be able to find out something useful that would help them keep McCall in check. Jack figures Ashley will do exactly what she wants to do. Billy notices something else is on his brother's mind. Jack tells him that he and Diane have been trying to convince Kyle to come back. He even offered him the COO position, but he'll only come back if he can have Billy's job. Jack didn't encourage it, but he considered Kyle as his replacement. He's in a difficult place and would like nothing better than his son to come back. Billy finds it a little hard to swallow knowing it would be at his expense. He figures Kyle's higher on the Abbott pecking order. He reminds Jack that Kyle had the job and walked away. Everything he has was handed to him through the family connections. Why don't you let him work his way up? Let him pay his dues? Jack laughs wryly. You honestly think you paid your dues, Billy? Billy's insulted that Jack compared him to Kyle. He worked his ass off to get where he is at Jabot, with Jack watching his every move, just waiting for him to screw up. Jack argues he's a loose cannon sometimes. Billy argues that when he messes up, he owns it, unlike Jack's son, who he's guessing feels like he should be handed the throne as his birthright. Jack insists that Kyle will have to earn anything he gets. Billy asks why they're having this conversation then. It's not fair to him, and it's not fair to Jabot because Kyle is not ready. Time stands still as Noah's family longs for her return. In Tucker's suite, he's not buying that Kyle will sell out his family. Kyle isn't trying to kid anyone. You offered this to me. Tucker corrects that Audra offered it to him. He's unsure that Kyle won't run back to Jack with his plans. Kyle tells Tucker he's making a big mistake. He has no professional allegiance to his father. Tucker doesn't believe he's willing to blow up his relationship with his father. Kyle says, "Watch me light the match." Audra feels Tucker will either agree to this or he won't. Tucker asks Kyle to sell him. Kyle wants what's coming to him. He's sure Tucker can relate to that. He complains about his father forcing him out, keeping his ex on, and replacing him in his old position with Billy. Tucker muses that Billy was willing to sell his family out, but he choked. Kyle says Billy is weak. He wants what's rightfully his and will do anything to get it. Tucker thinks that was a powerful statement from Kyle. He wonders if Kyle would sell him down the river to get back in good with his father and get his old position back. Kyle snaps, "When I make a commitment, I stick to it." Tucker says Billy told him the same thing. Kyle snaps that he's not Billy. There's a vacuum at the top of Jabad, and he intends to fill it. Tucker says words are cheap. "I'm a little more action-oriented." Kyle is willing to do whatever test necessary to remove his doubts. After that, he and Audra will run Jabad, and all he'll have to do is count his returns. Tucker is a little more hands-on than that. Kyle asks how Ashley's return changes his plans. "Is there any chance that you and Ashley are getting back together, or is there a chance that Ashley still has some influence over you?" He's not risking everything only for Tucker to fall in love again. Kyle invites Tucker to test him again as Devin arrives. Audra and Kyle file out and Devin asks, "What was that all about?" Tucker says, "They've been seeing each other." Devin wonders why they were in his room. Getting relationship advice? Tucker says he was asking Kyle if he knew where Ashley's head is these days. She's back from Paris. Devin asks if he's spoken to her. Tucker doesn't want to get into it. Devin accepts this and says he's there for another reason. He has a question to ask him again, and it's the last time he's going to ask it. "What is your connection to Mamie? And this time, please don't lie to me." Devin tells Tucker, "Nate saw a text you sent Mamie asking her to come and meet you." Tucker cops to sending the text and says he's expecting her any minute. Devin asks what they're meeting about. Tucker claims he was going to ask her for advice about his relationship with Devin. His son tells him that only thing he wants is to be able to trust what comes out of his mouth. Tucker reiterates that his only interest in his Aunt Mamie is him. Devin points out she's not even his aunt and hardly knows him. Every single time he gives him the benefit of the doubt, he shows him who he really is. Tucker says he's his father and he loves him. Devin says he's also a liar and someone who will use anyone or anything to get what he wants in life, whether it's his family or people he claims to care about. "Can you at least leave Mamie out of whatever you have going on? She's innocent and I actually believe her intentions are sincere." He walks out. In the foyer, Devin runs into Mamie and tells her he was just in Tucker's suite because he knows they're meeting. He guesses it has something to do with her investing in Chancellor Winters because he's Catherine's son. Mamie admits they've had some discussions and that Tucker's interest is because of him. Devin warns her not to trust him at all. Anything he tells her or promises will be a lie. He doesn't care about her, him, or the company, he only cares about himself. Mamie muses, "I'm beginning to sense that." Devin is glad to hear it and wishes it hadn't taken him so long. In the dining room, Audra tells Kyle he handled Tucker well by not backing down. Kyle still doesn't know what he wants or expects of him. "Whatever it is, it's probably not going to be pretty and will involve some betrayal of my family." Audra reminds him this is business. Tucker will have a test for him. "Isn't that why you reached out to me to set up this meeting in the first place?" She warns these are big stakes. You're either in or you're out. In Tucker's suite, Mamie snaps, "My plans have changed, Tucker." She no longer needs or wants him help with Chancellor Winters. Tucker asks what changed her mind. Mamie snarks, "A very revealing conversation with Ashley. She's learned things about him that she cannot tolerate. She also just spoke with Devin." Tucker guesses she also knows he's a liar, maybe I'm the devil himself. Mamie hisses that he's something else entirely. Her agenda is pure, but his motives aren't quite as noble. Are they? She trusted him because he was Catherine's son. Tucker argues that she trusted him because he's rich and he has a ruthless reputation, and she was desperate to be rid of Jill Abbott. "Here's a question," he intones. "How do you expect to do that without me?" In the dining room, Kyle tells Audra, "I'm still in." She says that's good to know. She just thought of something. What will he do if Jack surprises him by giving him Billy's job? Kyle says that won't happen, but he'd take it obviously. She would become his adversary and he'd have to destroy her. Audra hopes then that his father continues to let him down. She stands up, as does Kyle, who asks where they're going. They kiss and she leads him away. At Crimson Lights, Jack can't fault Kyle for giving him an honest answer. Billy wonders why Jack invited him back to Jabot, to keep an eye on me maybe? He informs his brother that if he replaces him it's not going to be because he screws up. He's holding onto this job. I deserve it and I'm going to fight like hell to keep it. Jack agonizes as Billy walks out. Devon returns to Lily's place and tells her it went about as well as he thought it would go. Tucker claimed to be meeting with Mamie to get advice about how to fix the tension between them. Every time he lets his guard down, he takes advantage. Lily asks if he got the truth out of him. Devon throws up his hands, who knows? He does think that he's plotting something. In Tucker's suite, he reminds Mamie that he is the rightful heir to Cavering's company. Mamie counters that she didn't leave it to him. Tucker snaps that she left it to Victor Newman. Do you want to hand it back to him? McCall says he has no interest in running Chancellor Winters and wants that for Devon, and has no qualms with Lily's involvement, but none of that is going to happen as long as Jill is in the picture. Mamie is well aware of that. Tucker tells Mamie they have a vested interest in having her removed, and he's the only one who can make that happen. Mamie hisses, I don't think so. You are bad news, Tucker. I'll take my chances elsewhere. I really regret that I trusted you in the first place. Tucker looks faintly amused and shakes his head.